Happy days, backcourt fans. We're back again. It's just, usually have to wait a week, sometimes 2, to hear our voices. Now, if you're clever, you could have 8 back-to-back. If you're listening up to date, you've had 4 or 5 very quickly come into your feed, which is very exciting. We're doing 8 mini pods reviewing each team's signing window. We're reviewing it on actually how good their team will be and also how exciting their signing window was. We're up to the Sunshine Coast Lightning. These guys know how to signing window. I actually think they don't care about the actual netball. They just get excited about signings and being cool and winning the window because every time it's like, who are the Lightning signing?
Yeah, they have won the window.
You're here, Liv. You like the Lightning.
They have become a team. They're a team of champions.
And yet they refuse to win games of netball when it counts.
So I think that if they can't do it now, they're never going to be able to do it. It's a team of champions.
That is a big discussion to have.
Matt, run us through their ins and outs and their 10.
So they finished 5th last year. I said they wouldn't lose a game. They lost 7. They were 7-7. It started well. They won the first one.
They did.
So they finished 5th. They actually knocked off the Swifts to almost have a finals chance and then lost to the Thunderbirds. So their ins, this is where it is. Karen Berger, in.
Corinne Berger.
Corinne. Apologies, Corinne.
I've been studying the pronunciation.
From the Tactics. Danelle Wallum, in. From the Mystics.
Huge in.
And isn't that just a bit of a fuck you to the Firebirds, by the way? And Gabby Sinclair is back again from Birmingham. Now, we can get again, and then Ava Black, because I'm getting sidetracked, and Ava Black will be back from injury. Out. This is also interesting. This is what I mean about the Lightning signing window. It's just not boring. It's the anti-Vixen signing window. Tara Hinchcliffe and Riley Batcheldor have said, you know what? We hate the sunshine, but we love coffee. So they're going to come. We're going to the Melbourne. They're playing for the Mavericks. Steph Fretwell has retired. That is interesting in itself because it seemed to be after the last game that against Thunderbirds that she wasn't going to, and then after a bit of thinking time, she said, you know what? Let's park it.
I'm done.
And Christiana Manua has retired, and she had a very decorated career that I would suspect a lot of people that are newer to the Super Netball scene wouldn't know about. She had a great career, represented 2 nations. So well done to her. So they're 10 for next year. Now, this could be one of our longest mini-eps because there's a lot to talk about. You've got Danelle Wallum, Cara Conan, and Gabby Sinclair as your goalers.
Yep.
You've got Liz Watson, who might be captain, Lisa Maimai, Ava Black, and Mahalia Cassidy.
Yep.
Very underrated. And then you've got Courtney Bruce, Ash Irvin, and Corinne Berger. Liv, give us your thoughts because, like I said, this is conversation worthy.
I agree. I think there's a lot to unpack with this one. As I've just said, they are now a team of champions, but what will be interesting to see if they can be a champion team.
Yes.
If they can't make it work now, then
you'll eat my hat.
Yeah, I'll eat your hat. No, I won't.
Because this is 2 years, and this is 2 or 3. Well, last 2 years ago, they went bonkers. Courtney, Liz, someone else. I can't remember. So
I don't know how they've managed to get so many big names into one team, but they've done it. And so the bit that I think is going to be most interesting to watch is those goaling combos have huge potential. Obviously, with Steph Fretwell stepping aside, it's left a massive gap. But Danelle Wallum and Gabby Sinclair both coming into the Sunshine Coast Lightning list, I'd almost argue gives them like a nice level of versatility because with those 3, it'll be interesting to see which combo gets the most court time. I would have thought Danelle and Cara will be the starting goal attack and goal shooter. But Gabby Sinclair also being able to be injected in during that Power 5 and really used for her ability to shoot those long bombs, it makes them a pretty scary looking side.
Let's talk about Gabby Sinclair for a moment because we've mentioned on a few of these pods that the UK League is becoming more and more enticing to young Australians and Australians in general. Because in days before, if you weren't on a Super Netball list, you just went and played State League, worked a job, and then eventually you probably gave up on your dream. Gabby says no to that.
Yeah.
So she played for
Birmingham?
but she played for Collingwood.
Oh yes.
Then she played for Glasgow. Not Glasgow. Celtic.
Yeah,
she played for the Welsh team.
Yeah.
She played for the Welsh team,
She
which
did.
isn't Glasgow. So she went and played for the Welsh team. Then she came back to the Mavs.
Yep.
Was one of the Mavs' better players, mind you.
Yeah.
Then they obviously needed to sign Shimona, so she went from the Mavs back to Birmingham.
Yep.
Had another really good year as a long-range shooter. And has now come back to the Sunny Coast Lightning. You've got to respect I think she's a nurse by trade. I'm not
hustle.
sorry. But you've got to respect it. And seeing the world. You know,
Yeah.
what a combination. So I agree that she'll come off the bench, but it is interesting that Cara will have to play goal attack.
I also think, like, for someone like both Gabby Sinclair and Danelle Wallum coming back into the Super Netball, and there's obviously more to unpack there with Danelle as well, they'll be playing up with Cara, who is the Diamonds starting...
Well,
Would you say
she's not starting
she
because
doesn't-
I think Garbo gets the nod ahead of
Yeah.
it. That's the thing. Maybe because Cara's going to have to play goal attack.
Yeah, but I think I've just got this feeling that Stacey Marinkovic has given them both a bit of a steer. Like, I think for Danelle Wallum to cement her spot in the Diamond squad, she needed like a shooting partner. I think Stacey Marinkovic is so focused on combinations, which is why that Steph Cara combo has done so well. And so being able to bring Danelle in to really hone in on that relationship with Cara Cronin, that'll create a combination which will likely
So
then
you're saying that
get
they'll start with the Vixens combo, and if it's going to shit, they'll go to the Lightning
Yeah.
combo, or vice versa. No, it is exciting to see Danelle back though.
It is.
Because obviously the circumstances in which she was let go by the Firebirds, there was a lot of rumour swirling. We don't know any information about
Yeah.
it, but it seems strange to someone of her talent and the fact that she'd pretty much single-handedly won a few games for the Firebirds. It seems strange to let her go. She went over to New Zealand. She got the Mystics to the grand final. She looked like she was thriving on and off the court. But then obviously had been given a chance to come back to Australia. And maybe it was driven by the fact that she didn't make the Diamond squad, and whether or not that had anything to do with her playing in New Zealand.
Yeah.
She's taken that out of the equation now.
Yeah, I think I was like kind of hoping she was going to say stuff you to the Super Netball and just because she looked like she was thriving over in New Zealand.
I think there is a little bit of trepidation about the future of the New Zealand League in terms of
Yeah,
cashola,
well,
so-
exactly. But I think she looked like she was thriving over in New Zealand. So I was kind of hoping she was just going to like continue to be able to play over there and like really have a nice time, develop her game a little bit more and still be able to play Diamonds. But this makes a lot more logical sense for her to come and develop that role at the Lightning with Cara. And then Gabby Sinclair also, like, as you said, she's been sort of around the
Well, her
traps.
her role seems obvious.
Like, for her to actually be able to, like, if she's going to properly be able to cement herself into a team, this is where she'll be able to do it.
Right. Steph Fretwell, like we said, retired.
Yes.
Which is sad news. People were very emotional about Steph retiring.
Yeah,
as
they
they
were.
should have been. But, so she won the BNF.
I was going to say, how about retiring after winning a BNF? Like, she clearly...
Well, she retired from international netball after winning a World Cup,
Yeah.
where I think did she dominate the semi? I'm looking at Loz, yes. She dominated the semi, so she wasn't playing poorly.
Yeah.
So she retired. You've got here, would Riley Batcheldor have left if she'd known? Because we better talk about the people that are leaving.
Yeah, so obviously Rue has signed down in Melbourne with the Mavericks, and she was that sort of cusp goaler up at the Sunshine Coast Lightning, but hasn't had a huge amount of court time. So it was time for her to sort of try and find some court time somewhere, and she's ended up at the Mavericks. So I'm interested to know how that would have played out. You'd think that Rue had a bit of an inkling that Steph was about to retire, but then there's questions around whether Steph even knew she was going to retire.
I suspect usually in these situations, I think these conversations are being had well before the end of the season. Because the turnaround from end of season to Riley being announced is very short. So I suspect she'd already made her mind up. And like we said with Sophie Fawn, sometimes you've got to bite the bullet.
Yes.
But their balance of their going end will be very interesting. Let's talk about the two other inclusions though. So you got Ava Black's going to come back into the mid-court.
Yep.
She probably won't start because Mahalia Cassidy is probably the most underrated. She's up there with Kate Eddy for underrated.
Yeah.
So happens they both play wing defence. So I think Ava will be more bench cover and is one for the future. And then Corinne Berger coming in means that the Lightning defensive three is Bruce Irvin Berger. Now Berger's another person who plays wing defence as well. So it's going to be interesting how they balance it out because like you said, there's a lot of unbelievable names in there.
Yeah.
But getting them all into a 7 in their best positions is going to be a tricky task.
I agree. I think it's going to take them a little bit of time to like actually sort of settle. I don't know that they'll start off strong. It's going to require like some really great pre-season matches and stuff to really test out which combinations are going to work. It is going to be quite a jigsaw puzzle to try and get them all in their right positions, but this team has some massive potential.
Yeah, it's exciting on paper. It will just be interesting because they risk... So obviously Riley's left because she wants to play court time.
Yep.
Ash Irvin's one they've got to be careful of. And I guess to an extent Ava Black, but probably not quite as much. You've got to be careful with Irvin because if she has another year where she just has to ride the bench, teams will be swooping on her because she's another one where everyone in the Diamond setup is very excited about her, but she can't get in the bloody... She can't get any court time.
Yeah.
Anyway, need to move on. Let's do the grades.
I've given these guys an A+.
I'm with you. It's exciting.
It's really exciting. I had it as an A and I've just swapped it to an A+, because
Nice.
I think that if any team wins the contracting period, I think it's probably the Lightning,
Well,
maybe the Mavs.
Everyone's excited about
And
it.
it's just exciting. You look at this team and you just...
You know what I like
they've
too?
contracted a team of champions.
Yeah.
And
It's a super coach
whether
team.
that turns into a...
It's a super coach team. And I
Exactly.
love it for Belinda Reynolds. That it's a great super coach team. She's put a lot of pressure on herself because if you don't make finals now, Belinda, questions will be asked.
Yes.
I do like as well that the Gabby Sinclair signing and the Donnell one, because Tipper Dwan wasn't signed, everyone just assumed that Tipper was going to move there.
Yeah.
So they kept a bit of mystery, but not the Burger one. They
Yeah.
they didn't think outside the box for that one.
That's a good point, actually. I also really liked the way the Sunshine Coast Lightning went about announcing all of these.
Yeah, no, this is what time we're going to announce it.
It was clinical.
And more often than not, they announce it at that time.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to give them an A. They do very good signing windows.
Yep.
I think it's a very unbalanced team though.
Yeah.
I don't think they've got no Cara Conan goal attack. I'm sure she'll do well, but it's not quite the same as Steph. And I think a big name's going to have to ride the bench, and big names don't like riding the bench. Liv.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's very exciting.
Very exciting. Very exciting to see how the Lightning go in 2026.
All right, so that's the Lightning done. We will be back very, very soon with the Giants, who, again, are another team that had an exciting signing window. So remember to rate and review the pod, and we'll be back very, very soon.